The gun buying frenzy is over. Handguns that were once flying off shelves are collecting dust behind glass, price tags slashed again and again, dealers quietly panicking about inventory they can't seem to move. And here's the uncomfortable truth the industry doesn't want to talk about. For buyers, this is the opportunity of a decade. If you know where to look, you can grab a gun that would have cost you significantly more just 2 years ago. That's exactly what today's about. 5 handguns that are sitting on dealer lots right now, going cheap, getting ignored. And honestly, they don't deserve it. These are solid, reliable pistols that just got left behind by trends and timing. If any of these were already on your radar, or if you're just looking for a good deal on a capable handgun, pay attention, because the window on prices like these doesn't stay open forever. Let's kick things off with a cheap gun that basically ran the internet a few years ago. A few years back, if you went anywhere online and asked, what's the best budget handgun, you were going to hear Taurus G3C. Every time, without fail. Forums, YouTube comments, Reddit, didn't matter where you asked, the G3C was the answer. And honestly, people weren't wrong. For around $250, maybe $280 at the time, you got a compact 9mm that actually worked. Good ergonomics, decent trigger, double-stack magazine, a manual safety option if you wanted it. For the price, it was hard to beat. So what happened? A few things. The budget gun market got really crowded really fast. Every brand started racing each other to the bottom on price, so the G3C's value advantage started to shrink. On top of that, Taurus went crazy expanding their lineup, new models, new variants, new configurations, and dealers who had already stocked up on G3s suddenly had more inventory than buyers. Now you've got G3 pistols sitting at $200 to $230 in a lot of stores, some used ones even cheaper than that. Here's the bottom line on this one. The gun is the same gun it was when everyone loved it. It still feeds reliably. The trigger's still better than it has any right to be at this price. You still get a capable, full-featured compact pistol that'll do the job, whether that job is home defense, range time, or just having something in the truck. The only thing that changed is that people stopped talking about it. And right now, that silence is saving you about $70 to $100 compared to what this gun was going for at its peak. If you want a budget 9mm that actually works, the G3C is still one of the best answers out there. The market just forgot to tell anyone. Next up, we got a gun from one of the most legendary names in firearms, going for a price that honestly doesn't make sense. This one's kind of a sad story, honestly, because the Smith & Wesson SD9VE didn't do anything wrong. It didn't get a bad reputation. There was no big recall, no viral malfunction video, nothing like that. It just got run over by a better gun from the same company. When Smith & Wesson came out with the Shield Plus, it basically made the SD9VE obsolete overnight. Better trigger, higher capacity, slimmer, and more modern looking. Buyers who were cross-shopping in the budget Smith & Wesson category just started picking the Shield Plus instead. Hard to blame them. The SD9VE holds 16 rounds of 9mm. The polymer-framed handgun has a distinctive two-tone finish and comes with a stainless steel slide with aggressive front and rear slide serrations for improved handling. A textured finger locator aids in acquiring a proper grip, and aggressive texturing on the backstrap and on the grip's front ensure positive purchase even when wearing gloves or with sweaty palms. A Picatinny-style rail on the dust cover makes the addition of lasers or weapon lights a breeze, and the gun comes with white dot front sights and a pair of dots at the rear. You're not buying some off-brand pistol that fell off a truck. You're buying a full-size American-made handgun from one of the most established gun companies in the country. Dealers are practically giving these away right now compared to a couple of years ago. If you want a home defense gun, a range gun, or just a solid first pistol with a name you can trust, the SD9VE is one of the most underrated deals sitting in a case right now. Okay, so here's an interesting one. Walther is a brand that people genuinely love. If you've ever shot a Walther PPQ, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That trigger is one of the best factory triggers you're going to find on any striker-fired pistol, period. The PDP carried that reputation forward and became a serious competitor in the duty gun market. So with all that goodwill behind the brand, why is the Creed just sitting there? Because the Creed's Walther's budget gun, and when people walk in asking for a Walther, they want the PPQ or the PDP experience. They want that trigger. The Creed's trigger is fine. It's a good trigger for the price, but it's not the legendary PPQ trigger, so Walther fans walk past it. And budget shoppers who don't know the brand well don't trust it enough to pull the trigger. Pun intended. But think about what you're actually getting. A full-size 9mm, 16 rounds, built by Walther, a company that's been making precision firearms for over 100 years. The gun is accurate, it runs reliably, the ergonomics are solid, and right now you can find one at prices that feel like you're getting away with something. If you want a full-size home defense or range pistol and you don't need the latest optics-ready bells and whistles, the Creed is a genuinely great gun that the market's basically forgotten about. That's your opening. Next up, a brand you absolutely trust on a gun nobody seems to want anymore. Ruger made the Security 9 to be exactly what it sounds like. A no-nonsense, American-made, affordable 9mm that regular people could actually afford. And for a while, it hit that mark pretty well. Reviews were solid, reliability was good, it sold. Then two things happened at once, and the Security 9 got caught in the middle of both of them. First, Ruger released the Max 9, a slimmer, more carry-friendly compact that basically made the Security 9 feel outdated. If you were looking at Ruger for a carry gun, the Max 9 made more sense. And if you weren't buying Ruger specifically, there were plenty of other options crowding that same price range. The Security 9 got squeezed from both sides and never really recovered. But here's the thing about the Security 9 that people forget. Ruger builds tough guns. Their reputation for durability is real, and it shows up in the Security 9. This is not a gun that's going to fall apart on you. 15 rounds of 9mm, smooth trigger, easy to take apart and clean, and it's made right here in the US. For a range gun or a first pistol for someone who just wants something reliable without a lot of fuss, the Security 9 at current prices is a legitimate buy. It's been overlooked so consistently that dealers are genuinely motivated to move them, and that motivation is showing up in the price tags. Number 5 has one of the wildest falls from grace of any gun in the last decade. Of everything on this list, the Springfield Hellcat situation's probably the most wild, because this gun was a genuine sensation when it launched. Record-breaking capacity for a micro-compact, aggressive price point. For about a year and a half, if someone asked what micro-compact to buy, the answer was almost always the Hellcat. It dominated that conversation. And then Springfield kinda buried it themselves. They kept releasing new versions, the Hellcat Pro with a longer grip, the RDP with a compensator, the OSP with optics mounting built in. Each new version was better than the last, which is great for innovation, but it made the original look like old news really fast. Meanwhile, the whole micro-compact market exploded. Sig went crazy with P365 variants. Glock answered with the 48 MOS. Suddenly, there were 10 solid options where there used to be 2 or 3. The original Hellcat went from category leader to just another gun in a crowded case. Here's what that actually means for you, though. The original Hellcat is still a really good carry gun. 11 rounds flush, 13 with the extended mag. The grip texture actually grips. Like really grips. Some people find it almost too aggressive. The sights are fast, the gun's slim enough to disappear in a waistband, and Springfield's warranty and customer support are legitimate. Now dealers with original Hellcat inventory are sitting on it and getting antsy. You can find them way below the MSRP in a lot of places, which for a carry pistol from a major American brand with a proven track record is genuinely unusual. Alright, I said 5 guns, but I have to talk about one more, because this one has a very different story than everything else on this list, and it's probably the most controversial gun you'll find going cheap right now, the Sig Sauer P320. Now look, the P320 needs no introduction. This is the gun the US military picked as its standard sidearm. The M17 and M18, that's just the P320 with a different name. Law enforcement agencies across the country adopted it. Civilians bought it by the millions. Put it on a range and it performs. The balanced weight distribution means muzzle flip is controlled even when you're shooting fast. Follow-up shots come easy. Accuracy at 25 yards is consistently impressive for a factory gun. People who shoot these for the first time almost always walk off the range with a big dumb smile on their face. And then the lawsuits started piling up. But here's the thing. Whether the P320 actually has a mechanical defect or whether it's mostly user error blown up by lawyers and headlines, the damage to its reputation in the civilian market's already done. People see Sig P320 and they think the gun that fires itself. Doesn't matter if that's completely fair or not. So yeah, that's why it's on this list. And that's why prices have dropped hard. Right now, you can find P320s, especially older non-X series configurations, at prices that would have seemed unbelievable 3 or 4 years ago. Some dealers with old stock are practically begging people to take them. So what do you do with that information? That's honestly a personal call. If you're buying used, make sure the voluntary upgrade was done, and if any of this makes you uncomfortable, that's a completely reasonable reaction. There are plenty of other solid options out there, including the other 5 guns we just talked about. But if you've handled a P320 and loved it, and you're willing to do your homework on the safety question, the price is right in a way that it hasn't been in a long time. Just go in with your eyes open. So there they are, 6 solid guns sitting on dealer lots right now, going cheaper than they probably should be. None of these guns got bad. The market just moved on and left them behind. And if you're willing to look past what's trending and actually evaluate what you're getting for the money, there's some real deals sitting behind that glass right now. The question is whether you're going to take advantage of them before the market figures it out and prices go back up.